YouTube. What's going on? Appreciate y'all watching the videos. Today's video is brought to you by Simple Truth. Simple Truth water. You can get it from your local Kroger grocery store. You know what? I think I'm going to sit up front. Hold on. I think I'm going to sit up front. Sit up front. This white shirt making things look. It's washing out the video. The sun beaming real hard today. Whatever. Just roll with it. Yeah, man, what's going on? 4-4. What's good? Yeah, man, what's going on? But yeah, so got the truck out the shop, got the brakes done, and hold on. Got the brakes done, and you know, thought I'd do a live feed for y'all. I'm at this place getting loaded right now. Picking up a load of pallets. I don't want to say it's pallets, but it's some kind of totes of some kind. Man, this sun is beaming real good today. Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. But so I got the shop bill back, and we went in and paid it, and it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. They found, in addition to the brakes and drums, they found a wheel seal that was going bad. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, but you can see that the wheel seal was going to be bad. It's on its way out the door. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on them. Because if one going bad, I'm sure the rest of them right behind it. Because the truck has got 400,000 miles on it. It's gonna be time to redo seals. I'm sure the rest of them are right behind it. So total bill was $1,354.70 out the door. Wasn't too bad, you know. When the shop manager came in there and told me, he was like, "Hey, yeah, we almost done with it. But then he was like, "But you got a seal that's looking bad. I don't know if you want to get it done today, or we can get it done today. It's up to you if you want to get it done." And I was like, "Man, go ahead and do it," because you know, because he showed me where it was leaking at, and I could tell it's on its way out the door. And I'm a mechanic. I'm a shade tree mechanic myself, so I already know. Because the seal is $50. The seal is $50, and you probably talking about another 2 hours of labor. So since he down there, you might as well just go ahead and replace it, because once it goes bad, it's gonna mess up your brakes, and it's gonna mess up your drum, and you're gonna have to replace a brake pad, a couple pads, and a drum possibly, and a couple other things may go bad. And the thing is, where it's leaking at, you barely can see where it's leaking at. So you have to do a thorough pre-trip in order to see it, because you would have to get up on the ground and look all the way in there where the actual seal is to actually see it. It's an inner seal. It's not the outer seal. Now the outer hub seal, you can see that all day just by walking around the truck. But the inner seal, the inner hub seal, it was leaking. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, so the inner seal was leaking. So it wasn't like dripping heavily, but you can see where in the area it was collecting like dirt and it was wet. You know, it wasn't dripping all over the ground, but you can see where it's wet. So I told him just go ahead and fix it, because you down there anyway. He had the drum off, he had the brakes off and stuff. So all you gotta do is just take them bolts off the axle and pull the axle out and pull that big nut off, replace that seal. So you there anyway. You might as well spend the $50. Might as well go ahead and spend the $50. So it's a little bit more money than I expected. Probably about $300 more than I expected. I was expecting about $1,000 on this bill. But yeah, so we got the brakes done and we got a new axle seal on here. $1,300. $1,300. Trying to show this receipt without showing a bunch of information. Yeah. $1,300. Hold on. Because I know Tommy Gunn's gonna come in and say I was lying. Milkman the trucker gonna say I was lying. Where is it? Is it right there? Yeah, 1,300. So we got the brakes done, and keep on trucking. We'll make that money back in a couple days. Tell you the truth, I didn't even have to use my maintenance money. Tell you the truth. Because, I'm keeping so much money, I don't have to pay a carrier a percentage, so I'm keeping so much money where I can just pay out of pocket for some of this stuff and don't even have to dip into my maintenance fund. So technically it's maintenance, but at the same time, it's like a $1,300 bill is nothing for a truck driver. If you've got your own truck or trailer, $1,300 is nothing. It's a very small bill when you're talking about the scope of running the truck. So if we're talking about profit, this is pretty much my profit. This is probably like my profit from last week, or if whatever I'm gonna run this week, probably gonna go to pay this bill. I'm probably not gonna get a check if you really think about it. This is probably like half a week's profit right here. If I gross $5,000 a week after expenses, trailer, insurance, blah blah, this is half a week's profit right here. Which, we make this money back in no time. $1,300, no problem. So, I don't know if y'all aware, but GOT Blitz is coming up June. I think I seen an article somewhere. The GOT Blitz is June 5th through the 6th or something like that. So, I mean, tell you the truth, I'm thinking about taking off. Tell you the truth, I might just go ahead and take off. June 5th to the 6th. Yeah, that's in the middle of the week. So that's what, Tuesday and Wednesday. That's right in the middle of the week. I might just take off. Or I might just run a few short runs for them couple days. Because when I was at Snyder, that's basically what I did at Snyder. I ran a couple short runs, and I didn't even cross over no scales. You know. Ugh. Kenny Cab over say I should have bought a 379. Hush, man, hush. If I would have bought a Peterbilt, that bill would have been way more than $1,300. I'm just gonna tell you. It'd been more than $1,300. Peterbilt, it probably been a couple more dollars more. Why are you down? What you saying, John Soprano? Say that again. I don't get what you're saying. While you're down there, get that nut off. Sound right. Get the nut off. I don't get what you're saying, man. Woo! I sneezed to edit that out. Can't be sneezing on live. The crazy thing is you predicted that shit. Adding the charge. Well, the guy, the shop guy, he said he said he was gonna give me a break on the labor because he already had the wheels and brakes on. So I don't know if there was a break on the labor, but the labor is $467, which is still pretty good because he had the truck all day. I pulled the truck in about 9:30 that morning, yesterday morning. He had that truck all day. I didn't get out of there until like 5, 6 o'clock. So they had that truck. They had this truck all day, man. Now, I don't know if he worked on the truck the whole time. Because sometimes in these shops, when they got a bunch of trucks in the bay, like they'll go to lunch. They'll be working on 2, 3 trucks at one time, or they'll say they don't have a part in stock. So what they'll do is if they don't have a part in stock, they'll call around and see who got the part, and then they'll have it delivered. And so you probably sitting about 2 hours waiting for them to deliver a part. So, you know, but I mean, because for what I understand, the labor rate is about $70 an hour. So if you do 467, the labor is $467 divided by $70. He probably spent about 6.5 hours on the truck. 467 0.5 by yeah, he probably did about 6 hours and 45 minutes on the truck. So that is if the labor is what it is. You know. And my bad, y'all. Somebody calling me. JV Media say, I've been a company driver for 13 years. I'm trying to make transition on out. Should I go to Snyder? Yeah, I would go to Snyder to get on that choice board because I think that's a good opportunity to that's the only way I would do a lease on thing unless you booking your own loads. All these other lease programs out there, they're garbage. They're garbage. Because if you're not booking your own loads, you're wasting your time. You know. John Soprano say you were talking about doing extra work. Ladybug Trucker. Ladybug Trucker say, I'm about to lease a truck and trailer. Been with one for 3 years as company driver. What advice can you give? Well, the only thing I can say, Ladybug Trucker, I got about 300 videos in my catalog, and I talk about all kind of stuff when it comes to trucking. All kind of stuff, booking loads, talking to brokers, maintenance, saving money, business credit, investing, you know, truck and trailer stuff, all kind of stuff. So I got about 300 videos in my catalog. So hey, jump in them videos, watch them videos, you know. I mean, it's a bunch of guys on YouTube just like me that make videos. So I don't want to say I have any advice, but with all the videos that I have, I think there's enough advice to go around because I don't think I have enough time to give the advice, you know. Well, I take that back. I'm gonna say a few things about that, Ladybug Trucker. Let me say this. When you about to sign that lease, make sure you have an exit strategy. So if I were you, I wouldn't sign a multi-year lease. I wouldn't sign a 3, 4, 5 year lease. Just wouldn't do it. I would do one and have some kind of walk away in the program. Like Snyder Finance, they'll tell you, no, it's not a walk away lease. They'll say it's not a walk away lease. But the terms and conditions of the contract, with the terms and conditions of the contract, it is technically a walk-away lease. They do the same thing as just like any other lease program out here. Swift, you know, US Express, they do the same thing. KLM, they all do the same thing. So when you lease a truck through these companies, they keep your maintenance account. You just relinquish all your rights to your equity in the lease program. So when you're doing a lease, if you quote unquote leasing, because I don't know what kind of lease you're talking about, because you got different types of lease programs, because guys who haven't been in trucking a long time, they don't know the difference between a lease purchase, where you actually financially responsible for the truck, or you have your own truck and you leasing it to a carrier. Those are two different situations. When you're leasing, when you own a truck, or you got a truck through a dealer or a leasing company, and you got that truck and you leasing it to a carrier, that means you just borrowing their authority to book loads. That don't mean you getting the truck through them or something like that. So that's a different program. Now, if you're talking about leasing the truck where you actually financially responsible for the truck and you quote unquote leasing the truck and you making payments, like, you know, a rental, you renting the truck. Now, that could be what you're talking about. So you got to understand the differences between leasing and leasing on. Those are two different things. So like I got my own authority, and just say if I wanted some guys to run on my authority, that is called leasing on. You lease your truck on to somebody. The same thing applies to any franchise. It's just like having a franchise, like a McDonald's or a UPS store or a barbershop. Like say you own a barbershop, and then you have a barber or a hairstylist. They want to rent a chair in your salon. That can be considered leasing on. It's the same thing as running a franchise, a Subway franchise. So if I was to have some guys run under my authority, that's called leasing on. Just like a taxi driver or doing Uber, like, if you want to do ride sharing or something like that. When you're doing ride sharing, you're quote unquote leasing on to Uber to provide a service for people who want to ride in exchange for some money. So that's the difference between that. But anyway, when you leasing on, I suggest reading through your contract, making sure you understand what's going on, because you got to know the terms and conditions, because you're getting into business. You're not a W-2 employee no more. So once you step out here and you start leasing equipment, doing business, you gotta think like a business person and understand you are in business. So you going into business, so you want to read over contracts and read the contracts and understand what you're getting into. What are your financial obligations? What you can and can't do, this and that and the third. You may have to get an attorney. It's cheap. You can call up an attorney, a business contract attorney, business law attorney. They'll charge you $50, $100 for an hour of their time, and you can call them up on the phone and pay them by PayPal, and or you can go to their office and sit down, and they'll go through your contract with you, paying $50 and $100, and they'll go through your contract with you for about 30 minutes to an hour, and make sure you understand the legal parameters of that contract. Make sure you understand how you're getting paid. Do your research. Do your due diligence on the program. Ask people who've been doing it, because I would hate for you to sign up for something and assuming that it's going to go a certain way, but then you get into it, it ain't for you. So, that is, you got to do your research. So, but it's a lot of guys on YouTube that's got videos. It's enough YouTube videos out here that would get you on the right track to understand on how serious it is getting out here in business, because that's what you're doing. You're getting out here in business. So, I can go on and on, but just to sum it up in a couple minutes, that's what I suggest. If you get all that stuff straightened out, then leasing a truck and leasing on to a company would be great. You understand your contract and understand what you're responsible for, and understand what your responsibilities are, to move freight, and how you gonna get paid. What's the average pay, for the average contractor, because that's what you're gonna be doing. You're a contractor. So Fofo. Cody say, Fofo, we're going to a shop for PM. Better prepare us for the DOT crackdown coming. Yeah, man. Yeah. Now I don't want to say going for a PM. A PM is just an oil change. But if you want to get ready for the DOT blitz, I would take your truck and just get it inspected. Just get an annual inspection or get a quarterly inspection. Because for the most part, a DOT officer is going to do just about the same thing a good shop looks for on a DOT inspection, generally. Now, you could go to a shop and say, hey, I want to get a shakedown. Now, most shops, they have this line item. You know, a shakedown goes for anywhere for about $150 to $200 to $300. And it's basically a mechanic goes through the truck. You pay the mechanic about 2 hours of labor, and they go through the truck and make sure everything in the truck is where it's supposed to be. They check the ECM report, make sure it's getting the proper mileage. They hook up the computer and make sure all the parameters are set up on the ECM. They go through the motor and make sure the motor is, everything is buttoned down tight, any loose bolts and stuff like that. They go through the truck from bumper to bumper and make sure the truck is good to go. So probably what you're looking for is either an annual inspection, a quarterly inspection, or a shakedown. Some shops don't have that on their line item, but some shops do. So you could probably go to a Freightliner dealership or whatever truck you got your truck from, or a reputable, decent shop, and ask them to get a shakedown on your truck. Now, I wouldn't go in there if you're not getting the PM. If you're getting the PM, I would go in and get a shakedown, because then you want to be effective with your time. You know, you just want to go in there and get a shakedown. If your truck need a PM, go ahead and get a shakedown too. If you're going in for a PM and you need an inspection, go ahead and get an inspection too. So getting the annual inspection, they're gonna check, okay, the lights, and make sure the lights work, and make sure your brakes are stopping, or make sure your brakes are contracting like they're supposed to. You know, make sure your brake chambers are working like it's supposed to. You know, make sure everything is engaging like it's supposed to. Ain't no air leaks. They're gonna make sure no oil leaks or, stuff that the DOT is looking for. But a shakedown goes to the next level. Okay, so shakedown is a more detailed. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Gotta sign these bills. Signing these bills. We signing bills, y'all. What's today? The 10th? Nope, today is the 9th. I'm gonna go make coffee up here. You're putting loaded forward. All right. All right, y'all. I'm gonna finish this video up. My bad. I have to sign these bills. But yeah. So that's just the gist of it, man. I mean, to tell you the truth, doing the DOT blitz, if you're running for a big carrier, you're probably good. But if you're running for a small carrier, or you're independent, your chances of getting inspected is high. because they know the big carriers, the Snyders, the Swifts. They know they DOT record. It's the small carriers they're looking for. So USA Truck has a low board for ICs now. Yeah, but it's not as polished as the Snyder choice board. So I mean, from what I understand, that board, you still only can choose from like 3 or 4 or 5 loads at a time. It's not a true open load board. Like Snyder has a true open load board. Like Snyder's is damn near like the DAC board, except you don't get to deal with the brokers directly. So like with Snyder, you pull up a city, you're looking at 200 loads, 300, 400, 500 loads at a time. From what I understand, that USA Truck load board, you don't have that large selection of loads. They're still boxing you in. I think at one given time, you probably only look at 5 or 10 loads at a time, if that, 3 or 4 loads at a time. It's a lot of companies out there that's got a load board, but they restrict what you can see. So you're only looking at maybe 3, 4, 5 loads at a time. Snyder has a true open load board. They still have control over it, but you can pull up Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, and you're looking at 300, 400, 500 loads at a time. And there's a difference to that. So when you have a large load pool, that can make or break you when you're in business, running your lease. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's just my opinion. That's just my experience, and that's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. Because KLLM, they got a load board too, but from what I understand, like they don't let you book loads from a large pool of loads. It's only 3, 4, 5 loads. A lot of companies got load boards, but it's not like Snyder's. Snyder's load board is like no other. Snyder's load board is like Landstar's load board, or like running loads with your own authority, almost. Because you got a large load pool. Snyder has a large trailer pool. All right, appreciate it. Got my bills, y'all. Okay. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I'm just looking at these bills, making sure my pickup numbers and everything match. You don't want to get down the road and have to turn back around. Oh, of course, somebody calling me. I'll call you right back, man. All right, the reference number 9683. Hold on, y'all. I'm looking at these bills. Okay, 9683. Nine, 6, 8, 3. 3241. Okay, we good. You just gotta match up these addresses and these pickup numbers. 499. Okay. All right, y'all. Let me pull up out of here. Milkman getting booted. My bad, Milkman. The moderators take care of business, man. Ain't nothing I can do about it. My bad, Milkman. Shot City Trucker, what's going on? I forgot what I was talking about. Go ahead and pull on out of here. But yeah, man,